life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who or what is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no middle ground.
What's that, Quercus? Do you have something? My goodness. Here we are, Quercus. This is it. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me. What more could I need?
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks, if that's what you mean. That's right, Quercus. We've done it!
Sir Laura turns to you, his beady eyes shining with pride.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed a human would lead me to the discovery that would save us all. But I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that abominable prison island. Now here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world. Indeed, Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of the Acorn from interrupting us.
Sir Laura takes a slow, deep breath and lets it out in a rush.
You feel it, don't you? It's so still, but there's something behind it, too, like a thunderclap waiting to fall. The great Acorn is nearly here. Its servants are poised for impact. We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research to the test. I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield? What say you, Quercus? That's good enough for you? Then it's good enough for me, too.
Sir Laura grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive shake, then salutes.
No matter what happens next, Shield, there's something Quercus and I want you to know. It has been an honor. Now, onward!
Come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source flood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. You'd think, right? But no. This is your moment. Still, do not underestimate my presence. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. So, I will pray for you. Your heart and soul will fill as quickly as they're drained. Consider it a taste of your divine future. The people will pray for you. In turn, they'll trust you to do right by them, as I'm trusting you to do now. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond, but you do you.
Malady wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected but sincere reverence.
Looks like my investment's paid off after all.
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins. My worship is the least I can offer.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention, but you've turned the tables. I suppose it's only right, seeing as how a new divinity may stand before me.
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
Lohse, God-woken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and twice as bright, to have come so far. Your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Wiedemann's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Wiedemann, then bestows a benevolent smile upon you. All that you know of him flashes across the panorama of your mind.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe. You have my respect.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your measure entirely.
Lucian, we should tell the Godwoken the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source. Listen to her.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the veil, the 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
During their lives, worshippers collect Source. When they die, the gods feed from them. It's an ingenious system.
Our souls are nothing but fats for the Source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. Our goal is to close the hole they created. to restore the source to the veil. When we are done, there shall be no more source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslaved them.
My people cannot be allowed to return from the void. They are tarnished. They are void-woken. They can only bring chaos and death and...
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the Seven the secrets of the Veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. Myself, my mother, and Thane. Yes, Thane is my father.
No, it can't be. Everything Dallas did, it was all you, child.
Everything I did to fix your mistake. Our people, every purged sorcerer, every dead magister, all those weeping families. They're on your head, father. But now I have revenge. Revenge on the Seven and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me. My life. My people. My mother!
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness, but anger.
Did you even look for me? Did you even look for her?
Dallas, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You are right.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Rivellon. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now, we are on the precipice.
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Rivellon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remained there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Rivellon.
While Dallas sought the Eteran, I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Yes, in a sense. When the Death Fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, Tias and Dilius weakened. This gave the God King his first real foothold back in the world. To strengthen himself, he sent his Void Woken, the remnants of my people, to hunt down the sorcerers seeking to reclaim their source.
The Voidwoken. Disgusting things. They ravaged the land they touched and infected the air they breathed. They were also an incredible stroke of luck. You see, blaming the sorcerers for Voidwoken made them easier to capture.
The Eterran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal the Veil.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead. A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this. I shall demand peace, and we shall have it.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Rivellon, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward. Like...
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. All of the source. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours. We already had more than enough Godwoken.
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Those beautiful people. I was as kind as I could be. I promise you that. Alexander was Godwoken. Once, years ago, I should have killed Damien. But instead took him as my son. Quite the mistake. Now, I was forced to kill Alexander, my blood. But once more, I could not.
The task fell to me.
And me.
Good. You understand.
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power, yet all who desire power shall fear me. I shall carry the secret of my lack of divinity. Peace shall reign.
Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility, Father! Surrender your source!
Sealing the veil will lock our people away forever. They will never be free of the void. Though if they return, what becomes of this world?
Fane turns to you. In all the time that you've traveled together, you've never seen him like this. He's trembling with emotion.
And you, my fellow adventurers. Together we have seen more than generations of mortals could ever see. You have seen the horrors of the void, and I have seen this world through your eyes. You showed me how beautiful it really was. There is no one else I would trust to make this choice. Whatever you decide, I will follow.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of Rivellon.
Don't let them do this to us.
But Souls! There has to be another way.
I understand. Sacrifice takes courage, but I shall help you. Though it pains me. Your sacrifice shall be made for you, Dallas.
I'm sorry. You've come such a long way, but there is too much at stake. This is the end.
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwoken. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
The air goes suddenly, eerily still, then breaks, a flash of heat hitting your face like fire.
I hate to crash the party, but I think the time's come for an intervention. There's a matter I need to attend to, you see.
Dallas groans at the doctor's appearance as he calmly raises his palm.
What is the meaning of...
Enough talk from
Dallas collapses. There is neither fanfare nor dirge. The hammer is simply gone, victim to the doctor's cruel whim.
And you.
The doctor turns to you after the late divine falls, lifts a blood vial, and taps it to make a dull clink. A chilling reminder of the pact you made.
Amazing. What forces I command with the power of our pact, yes? I've come to collect. I presume you intend to honor our agreement. Then you shall rise as I descend. The future has come. Now let's see an end to these useless gnats, shall we? And so it is done. You, the god of light. I, the god of dark. Balance. We should be proud of what we've accomplished, Lohse. And all that's yet to come.
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm she was worshipped and adored. Humans, lizards, elves and dwarfs all rallied to her banner. Great allegiance stood once more, but war raged on. With the aid of the demon divine and his vast demonic armies, the God King was pushed back into the very depths of the void. But he was never truly defeated. Still, the new divine was hailed as the greatest hero Rivellon had ever seen. Alas, party was not to last. The demon divine desired ever more power. The demon wars began. Rivellon was ravaged. The divine held her ground, if barely. Desperate, the people pray for the rise of a new god woken once more. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the god woken claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine. I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new god woken will rise.
Don't you dare look me in the eyes, slave. That is all you are now that you bow to a drama league.
The flaming hatchling bounces and cheeps out of sheer excitement.
Mommy! Mommy! Looky, looky! At me!
It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed.
Mommy!
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I'm personally acquainted with one. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet from the Halley and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she? Reform my ways. How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind, you think you hear her voice sigh, "mine." But then the kiss ends.
Something to remember me by, darling.
Divinity is yours? Or does it belong to some other? Is there someone else in there, pulling the strings?
Tarquin pauses. He adopts a thin smile, but cannot conceal the wariness in his eyes. His defenses are up.
I haven't decided yet. Perhaps I'll lay low for a while.
Tarquin looks like he's about to unleash a cutting remark for a moment, but he thinks better of it, and offers a slight bow instead.
But of course you are.
All of this, Quercus, all of our struggle to save their stupid bloody giant races, and this fool lets a demon infect the world. We didn't rescue your barren land from the great acorn to see it turned over to someone even worse than your damned people. I know, Quercus. I'm disappointed too. I thought we had found a true friend, but no. Come, we've lost our shield, but we still have each other.
Beast tilts his head at the sight of you and continues to howl. Sabine twirls her ghostly needle, looking not at you, but at the coursing waters that rock the Lady Vengeance. Ifan's spirit stares at you, seemingly through you. There is neither affection nor blame in his expression. He gives no sign of seeing you. Ifan's eyes flicker rapidly from side to side, as if trying to take in an expansive sight.
Clacu de ma. Clacu de ma.
He whispers the phrase over and over, and suddenly you seem to hear the chattering of thousands of elven voices in the distance. Then, before your eyes, his spirit dissolves into the sound, his own voice joining the cacophony that you can hear, that you could hear, for now no sound remains. All is calm.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. It was a great feat, but given her skill, not a surprising one. I feel better than new. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old, and so, as always, I am at the ready.
So, that's it. We're gone. I failed. Now a demon rules, along with his thrall. It is not the most ideal fate for this world. But perhaps not all is for ill. Perhaps.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here she looks almost angelic.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but my stable this. Get an eyeful. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time. You've unleashed a powerful evil on our realm, you know. There's no telling who'll survive it. There's evil you can trust, and there's evil you should do everything in your power to destroy. You obviously don't understand the difference. Never mind. What's done is done. I don't know where I went wrong with you, but it's too late now. You know, I had looked forward to something of a vacation. A bottle of something strong, a lover or 300. Now, it seems, I'll have to focus on preventing end times. Again. You'll pay for that. Don't you have somewhere else to be?
Shall we see?
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. Vulnerable as it was to the machinations of the demons who infiltrated the houses, the ancient empire of lizards was soon brought to its knees. With Justinia dead, the Dwarven kingdom descended into chaos. They did not join the Divine Alliance. When the demons came, the dwarves were ill-prepared. Few survived. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly joined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the War on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. One last Black Ring priestess survived the Void War. When the demons came, she fled into the wilderness, and there, after 39 days and 39 nights, she saw a man calling her name from another plane. His name, Damien. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, until the war with the demons began. Then, Malady the half-demon fell under suspicion from both sides. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy ever witnessed, Tarquin found the new Rivellon unchallenging. He became obsessed with a supposed new world on another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen in Rivellon again. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. She was troubled only by the silence of her goddess. And then there was you. And you, Lohse Divine, what did you do with your power? What kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Did you wish you had surrendered the power that runs through your veins and sealed the veil? Did you regret your deal with the demon divine? Or was the price of power just something that had to be paid? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.